Right, hello everyone. Welcome to my first video. This channel I've created mostly to do some unboxing videos, mainly focused on tech work, and I may or may not during later on might do some gameplay of some of the builds that I do as well. But yeah, we'll just dive right into it. Today on my table here we have the highly sought after Tokyo Marui Glock 17 Gen 5. Now these are increasingly getting harder and harder to get your hands on because Umarex, the licensing company for Glock themselves, have been, from what I heard, have been sending out cease and desist letters to anyone that stocks, Umarex pistols, or are sponsored by Umarex. So those shops are not allowed to sell these Tokyo Maruis. As some of you might know, Tokyo Maruis don't ask for permission. But yes, let's get straight into it. I've owned a few Tokyo Marui pistols in the years I've played Airsoft. I've had a Gen 3 17, a Gen 3 Glock 22, a Gen 4 Glock 17, and now the Gen 5. I must say, I already own a Glock Gen 5 prior to this brand new one that I just got the other day. Thanks to the guys at Airsoft World. They still have some stock left if you want to grab yourself one. So yeah, I've already got one of these. I've already unboxed it myself. This unboxing experience is like nothing else. I've had the MWS series. I do think the AKX, their unboxing experience is something else as well. But Tokyo Marui have upped their game. So we'll get right into it. So we have the box. What I really like is the serrations for the front and the back of the slide serrations is, shown here. So we'll open the lid. It's really nice finishing on it as well. And then here we have Experience the Tokyo Marui. This bright orange, is a significant discolor. You will see in a bit why that is in this new gen. So we'll lift this up, pull the tab. This kind of reminds me of Apple a little bit with the tolerances. So here we have all your manuals and your targets, etc. So we'll put that back in. Won't be needing that. Won't be able to understand it anyways. But here we have the pistol itself. So first thing we get right into it is the Glock itself. So unlike the Gen 3, certainly the Gen 4 is getting a bit closer. This has a bit of a weight to it. It's really, really nice. Have a little bit of a weight to it. Like the Gen 4, I do believe we'll open it up. We have a upgraded recoil system, which I really like, that TM have started doing from the Gen 4 onwards. So that feels incredibly smooth. So I think there's other videos I've seen that have mentioned this as well. So the Gen 5, they've done a rework of the trigger mechanism. So when you now pull the trigger, when you pull the slide back, you won't get that, normal TM. Normally they get, most Glocks, get about hooked up about there, and then there's a bit of a bump you can feel. Not on the Gen 5. It's completely smooth. You don't feel that lump. It is great. So on the pistol itself, you got quite stiff. That's good. You've got MB mag release. So great for the lefties out there. Trigger safety. Standard TM, plastic construction, but high quality plastic. I like the finishing on the slide as well. It's got a more of a gunmetal brushed kind of a finish, which is really nice. Correct markings, although not licensed, but correct markings. You've got a lanyard hook as well, which you can take off by unscrewing the 2 screws in there. I'm going to leave it on there for now. But yeah, there is the gun. Oh, before I put it back, I should mention this is the MOS version. I believe that's the only version that they make for the TM. And to remove the top plate, these screws are fake. Do not try to attempt unscrew it from the top. You can see it's clearly fake if you just take a close look. But to remove it, you push the button at the back, at the rear sight, push in, and you lift. And this cover comes off like this. We'll dig into what's in this box in a bit, and it will come clear what this can do. So we'll just push that back and then click the top plate back on. So that's the gun. We also come with some back straps. So we've got back straps long, back straps short. The long ones obviously have more of a beaver tail. The short ones will use the existing profile. I have a tiny hand for a 6-foot man, so this grip is perfect. Now, the magazine. These magazines are absolutely brilliant. I am absolutely in love with the orange follower, which you will see is the same orange as the top cover. It's modeled after the real Glock magazines. The empty, the bottom plate where they push up the real bullets is also this type of orange as well. So this is great. They also boast a increasing efficiency in terms of how many mags you can get, how many shots you can get out of one mag. So that's great. Loading exactly the same as the previous gen. You pull back the follower, get a speed loader. You see the channel that's slightly larger. You just load them in as per usual. And to fill up the gas, pull down on this little tab at the bottom, slide off the plate. You don't have to slide it all the way off. It does click in and self-retain like so. Fill up via the intake port and then slide it back on. One thing I'd really like to see the TM Gen 17 mags start doing is instead of pins, I'd really like to see the long screw Phillips that's in it. So like the P226, the Glock 19, I believe, have the screws at the bottom. I just think from a repair point of view, it's much easier. I've seen loads of these pins get mangled by people that, you know, might not have the correct tools, stuff like that. But all in all, great magazine. Now we're digging into this little box of goodies. So in here, we have some of the standard stuff like the TMBBs and the muzzle block to show it's safe. Just rotate this out of the way. We also have a pin for when you want to put on the other bigger back strap. I'll show you how to do that. The pin punch for that here as well. We also have some screws for your Micro Pro sight from TM and some magazine, I call it the training clips because you can put it into the magazine and you can dry fire it. And then we also have the plate for that optic. Now, one thing at a time, we'll start with the optic. So if you have the Micro Pro sight from Tokyo Marui, you can put them on via this. Take off the plate as we've demonstrated before, and then you can take this plate that comes with the pistol, and you will see it has the TM Pro sight cut out right here, and then on the bottom you can see that there's curves that will match up with the gun itself, and then you will see some clips at the front. You slide that in first, push it down, make sure it's flush, then you can put the Pro sight on. It will include the screws to go on it as well. So that's a really nice, I think, modular system that TM's come up with. Although I do think the Pro sight is quite expensive for what it is. It's a piece of plastic, you know, reflex sight. It's high quality enough that, you know, I do own one, and you know, they're great. They're really bright, but sometimes I prefer the brightness adjustment to be a little bit more adjustable because you have the low or the high. I play a lot of them, a lot of the time indoors, and when you play indoors, even on the low setting, it is just too bright. So that is how you do that. And we're just going to undo this paper. So here we can put on one of the straps. Now we're going to use, just move these out of the way. Now we're just going to use this punch that comes with it. It's great that they include all the tools. This, I think, for the average consumer is brilliant. So you just, there's a pin on the back, you just push that pin out. Right there. Then you get the longer pin that comes with it. Here we go, take this pin and then choose your desired back strap. So I'm just going to pick out the long back strap, medium, to put it onto the pistol. So this bit hooks onto the back and everything else just clips in. So just make sure that it clips in at the bottom here. Should. If you pull, there is a retaining tab at the back, so if you just pull it back a little bit, it will just pop right in. It's not sitting high enough, so just try to reseat this. Okay, so it's probably easier if you're clipping the bottom first. So you'll see right there, that's clipped in, and then we can clip in the top. Now to retain everything, we can take the long pin, push it in at the back. I normally, you can, if you've got the tools, punch it in. If not, this is perfectly fine. I just use the back end of this, and then a bit more fiddly, or you can use the side. There's grooves, and then just push it in past the retainer C-clip inside, and then use this end just to push it all the way through. Here we go. Perfect. So that's how you install the back strap. So now this is way too big of a pistol grip for my hand. I know I used the FNX before this. It is just a bit too big for my hand. But that is a great trigger feel as well. Nice positive click. Beautiful. Now this is the magazine. To show some of the viewers might not have known exactly what these are for. These are for if you're in the house, you don't want to load in the BBs, but you want to dry fire your pistol, for training or just mucking about. You can use these. So arrow pointing up towards where the BB goes. It only goes in one way. You can't push it through, and then just let the follower push up. And then this means that the slide lock won't get engaged when you put the mag in. See? It should just cycle. So I'm going to put some gas in this, and we'll do some dry firing. Note for right now, I've got my gas. For TM magazines, some of you might not know, but when you're filling up the mag, when you're injecting the gas in, the TM injection ports have a specific design where when the magazine is full up to its capacity, it will spit gas back out at you. So we'll demonstrate that just now. It's going in, yeah, perfect. Like so. So when you see the gas coming back out of the injection port, that's the magazine full. So now we can load the magazine, rack it, give it a fire. It is incredibly snappy. I cannot stress enough how snappy this gun feels. I know it's plastic, but there is absolutely no wobble to the gun whatsoever. So this is genuinely, I'm impressed every single time, you know, pulling this trigger. I'm just overwhelmingly impressed by the craftsmanship and the build quality. It is so fast firing. It just is incredible. So we'll just take a look under the hood to disassemble your Glock. Make sure it's racked and pull down the tabs, and then just push the slide forward, and this will come apart. And this is what we'll see. Let's focus on the lower first. So the lower profiles, I'm sure there's better videos out there. I do believe Ollie Talk AIRSOFT did a video on the Gen 5 comparing to all the other Glocks, where you can see that the profile on the hammer unit is slightly different. That's how they've managed to eliminate the bump in the slide. So that is just great. Obviously, you got your MB mag release as well, which is awesome. Now, under your slide, you have the new and improved recoil system. So it's a dual spring. Gen 3 and before is just a single spring system. This is a dual spring system, which is awesome. Gives you that a little bit more kick and that extra snappiness. Now we have the slide. Sorry, outer barrel and inner barrel. The hop unit. And that just comes apart. So that's your plastic outer barrel. Not too interesting going on here. We have some logo and some markings, 9x19, but that's that. And then here we have the barrel and the hop unit. The inner barrel is your standard TM brass barrel. Honestly, TM hop unit, what can I say? Anyone that's used the TM, I don't think I've had much of an issue with the hop units themselves. They might struggle with some heavier BBs, but in my opinion, the hop unit itself is great. You might just need to change in the hop rubber if you want to run anything maybe heavier than a 228. But yeah, no, these are absolutely brilliant, and I'm absolutely in love with the Gen 4 and Gen 5 hop unit design, where you no longer have to disassemble the slide to access the hop wheel anymore. And we'll just demonstrate that just now. So we'll put everything back together. Here we are. So to adjust the hop, you can just pull back the slide, lock it, and you can see the wheel, the dial right there. There's a white marker as well. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully the camera focuses in. Get some more lighting there as well. So you can get your pinky finger in there and adjust, or for easier access, you can release the slide ever so slightly and then adjust the hop wheel right there. So this is kind of a brief overview of the Gen 5. It is a beautiful gas pullback pistol. I recommend highly for anyone wanting to buy a pistol for themselves. As a first pistol for anyone that's just getting into airsoft as well, I highly recommend a TM. The Gen 5 just blows everything else out of the water, in my opinion. It's 175 or 179 pound. Don't quote me on it. On Airsoft World right now, they do whole UK shipping. So if you would like one, you know, go get yourself one. It is absolutely awesome. I can just let me go get my other Gen 5 and I can show you what you can do with the Gen 5s. So here I've got my personal Gen 5. That's all set up in my nice pistol case. Just close that. I should say that the Gen 5 magazine, although they are new designs, they will work with the previous gen mags, TM mags. So even your WEs should work. I'm yet to test that, but your TM ones should definitely work. So here is my Gen 5. things I've added to it, I've added a Acro P2. You can get the conversion plate from Boom Arms. I did in fact get most of the upgrade parts from Boom Arms. They are great. So I've got Acro P2. I've got I do believe it's the Pro Arms, the Trigicon suppressor trinium front and rear sight. So that is absolutely beautiful. I got a flared magwell. I should say the standard TM Gen 5s, as you can see on this model. The magazine is a little bit flared anyways, but this just, you know, for the drip, as people would say. X300 torch, absolutely rock solid on this. And I've also got a aluminium outer barrel installed on this. Under the hood, I have a upgraded spring recoil set. So I did buy the Cow spring set. However, the guide rod itself was giving me a little bit of a grief, which we'll get into with another video talking about the upgradability of the Gen 5 at the moment. But that's for another video for later on. But I've upgraded the spring anyways, alongside with the outer barrel. It is just incredibly smooth. You know, with an Acro P2 on it, it is a heavy optic. It is still incredibly snappy. And really nice sound to it as well. It's not a quiet pistol, I must say. But yeah, drop a comment below if you want to, you know, give me some suggestions on what you want to see done with the Gen 5 on the other one, and what you think of this build. Personally, I absolutely love it. I'm going to rock it on a game day this weekend. So yeah. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and we'll see you very soon.